Look, we truly love everybody, but just for people who might need to hear this, there are some people, some groups, or single people, doesn't matter, and you have to remember, not everything I talk about is about my personal life. Maybe some things are, but not everything. So, whatever, if you know me. Look, some people will try to set it up in a sort of way, any way they can, depending on who you are, your life circumstance, their life circumstance, group, whatever. There's so many factors, but they will set it up in a way to trick you, to bait you, to get you going on certain momentums that you can't turn back by the time you figure out what's going on, if you ever do. Lots of times they'll just be with drugs and alcohol, and that's all they need. And maybe a little spark of, they can see you're a people pleaser or depressed or whatever. But they can get you in all kinds of ways, and one of them is get you into circumstances, thinking you're a certain way, getting going, and then doing things that later in the future you'll be so ashamed of, so fearful of people finding out that they can then use it against you as blackmail, which is the rough way, old school way of doing it. But really, the power is having you be ashamed secretly. That will keep you at a certain level forever. And it can manifest in many certain ways. You could be like a pet to somebody, codependent, or this or that, or just stuck, or lots of ways. Doesn't matter what the way is. So, figure out who you are. Now, sometimes you need these exact moments, and I would say almost it's got like, if it's happening to you, there's also a silver lining to figure out who you are. But you can also waste lifetimes. You can also become less efficient. Like, you could have already been doing certain things that you still aren't. You'll still get there, and there's really nothing to worry about, but you could be doing better. You want to be doing better in a gentle way, not like you're doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? You want to be as efficient as possible. So, fuck these people and watch them, and you still treat them as humans because they still are. Doesn't matter. You keep the compassion there because it's if you can get it genuinely a true belief system that manifests true compassion for all humans. Extra kudos if you can get it going in every moment almost as it's happening. But if you can get the general thing going, that's good too. And it's always there. That will be it also works as I don't want to say armor, because I'm not the type to say I'm a warrior. There's no spiritual warriors in my fucking realm. Because a wise person does not bring any aspects of 3D dense reality up into the higher realms and create a pseudo reality where all the people who think they're enlightened hang out, right? It's an intermediary thing where they think they're there, and really they just kind of brought up all this kind of high school stuff from the dense reality, have one foot in the spiritual realm because they have done some work, but they're just bringing it all up. They're kind of melding it and creating this pseudo reality where there's still spiritual warfare, and and then still haven't gotten away from that kind of stuff. They're just kind of trying to get it all the way up there, but they'll never get all the way up there, so they'll have their own reality, and they'll miss the point. That's a tangent. Anyway, just watch out for people getting you down momentums that you will not be able to change easily as you might want to by the time you realize what's going on. You might even say things like, this is just who I am, and I'm just this way. Fuck that. Fuck that. There's also double duty from feelings of guilt and shame. Not only should you not stay there too long, but it's not something to hate. Let you know some things. Whatever notion, idea, or whatever you're thinking about that makes you feel guilt and shame, you care about it in some sort of way enough. You have to have some sort of investment of care into it to be able to feel the dissonance of that. And you're pinching yourself off some kind of way, but that's for you to figure out. So it lets you know that. It lets you know you're off your path. It lets you know that. In the moment, what mood you're in, even if that mood isn't an indication that you're off your path, lets you know that instantly in the moment. It's important. But then if you stay there too long, now you're just off in the bushes fucking looking for dandelions when the path to where your most amended reality is right there. Get back on it, feel good. Don't let people. Every version of you is out there happening right now. The version of you that you would be shameful of doing all these acts, which there's nothing wrong with. And all lifestyles are out there, but it's out there happening right now. And people can help you shift to these realities before you know what's going on and get you stuck there. And if you want to leave, now you got to do all these obstacles. You got to start the dance reality. Sometimes it seems you got to start the dance reality. You got to manipulate people, got to have secret accounts and kind of separate yourself from people secretly first, because they can't, if they knew, they would double down on their tactics and just try to, who wants that shit? Just get me out, free me up, and you can be free. You can be free, but it's best not to get stuck in that situation to begin with. Meditate, become really aware and sensitive, eat less addictive things so you're more aware of your body and what's going on. And then that's not all. You just gotta, it takes a while to even quantify what's happening, what this feeling means, what it means to transition to this, what this feels like compared to this, to get what's actually going on. And then you can finally start listening to your body when you get it wrong, and that will get better. Finally, you'll get some confidence. Oh, okay, I am listening to my body now, and it's happening more naturally, and blah, 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 blah. Just the way you can fade out of that, you can fade out of these tough situations that you find yourself stuck in. You don't even have to get in them to begin with. But we all get jostled around. By the time we're 15, we're all, it's a vague, all ages for different people, but we're all already confused. And so if you're a confused cork on the ocean, not knowing what's really going on, but trying to live in life being a dense human, you're on the island of everyone else that's like that. So you can't really blame anyone when you're in that reality that's still going on right now by chance. But so all those yous are out there. There's those versions are still living their life now, banging around. Still going on right now simultaneously. But damn, where was I going with this? Happens again. At least I'm feeling good. That's what matters. That's what matters. Don't let it happen. Get sensitive so you can see the snakes before they come. Or maybe you won't know they're snakes. And remember, all humans are beautiful, really are. We're all where we're supposed to be. If say 5 people are in the elevator, right? And these people that, maybe a couple of them are people that resonate enough to where they probably would hang out during the day, or could, or possibilities there, right? To have a lifelong friendship. But some of the people in the elevator, of the 5 people, would never, ever be caught anywhere other than this elevator, ever. And that's where the frequency is. So they can share this moment of reality. But that's it, right? And say one of those people is a snake, is just manipulative, just living it, just banging around, trying to survive, learn all these tactics, and he's just living life, just trying to survive. And that's him. That's his reality. He's not living in the same reality of the other 4, right? And they're whatever the personalities, pick one, whatever their life is doing. And they can be they're all different realities, but say 2 of them are very similar, and they could have potentials of doing more than just this elevator going. Now, all realities are always going on behind the scenes, always at the same time, but the reality for the manipulator, who's really lost and just going on of his own ways just to survive, and thinks this and that and the other of who he is, and blah, 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 and running programs of shame and guilt and revenge and blah, 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 blah. His reality is consisted of people who are mostly like that. But we live in this reality, so where we can pass each other on the highway, and we can have this, in a sense, this glass wall up where we see you, we're sharing the same reality, but we technically do not have the same reality. We're just overlapping in a Venn diagram style, just for now, because that's all that's all the likeness in us that can attract, that can be that way, because you're just so different, right? But when he's at home and he's in his own space, or he's this way or that way, the people in his life, the things in his life match him. He's on that island, right? That's how it works. Okay? The cool thing is you can change. So as you're changing, you can fluctuate. You can become on islands of people who are on that island who are fluctuating. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't, and blah, blah, blah. And different variations and combinations create great games and great circumstances and cool outcomes and unexpected thises and, the real spices of existence, right? But watch out for those people. Don't let them fuck you. You're your own sovereign being. You have complete control of your reality. If you let someone let you get in the wallows of shame, they can stagnate you for years. Years. But the real cream of the crop always floats to the top. You eventually will sift yourself through, figure out who you are. This could take 100 lifetimes. This could take 100 hours, It's depending where you are at the given time, what you're learning, what you want to experience, and all such things. I'm a very fair person, and I can't stand seeing a good person or someone. It can be even as trivial as just seeing someone maybe who has a certain type of awkward, shy personality, or for whatever reason, maybe someone cuts them off when they're talking, and they always cut them off, and they never get to really. And then you have to see, and you just want to fucking smash their face in. Like, are you so unaware and dense? Why would you get? But then you instantly realize everything is always working out for you. And that's my trigger. I'm dissonant, off my path ahead, but that there's a reason these happen for you can learn about yourself. They're having their thing that they need to be learning about on both ends. Anyone else who's watching the situation. I'm a fair person, and I want to see people be treated right and fairly. And here's the kicker. When I see someone this is good knowledge, who's not being treated fairly, and I instantly get that welling of future rage or just disdain. It's like that feeling, I catch it really early because I'm aware and I meditate for years. So I catch it early, which is good, so I'm not going to get off the rails. And I know that feeling is that things are working out and completely fair. I'm going to use this word just for emphasis because God doesn't make mistakes. Source energy, rather, infinite intelligence does not make mistakes. So everything truly is fair. So when you're just looking at any situation, like the one I just said, and you're boiling up a little bit, you're going off your path. Everything really is fair. Hey. We know everything is fair, and you're about to go off your path. So it's not you really getting angry. It can work double duty if you're still in that reality, but you're about to go off your path. Everything really is fair, and that's why it's going to feel so bad if you go off it, because you think someone's not getting treated fairly, but it is fair. We don't make mistakes. There's something they're learning, or you need to learn. Everyone, wherever, needs to experience something that everyone needs, and we orchestrated at this moment will satisfy everybody's need perfectly. And when you go off and you immediately think, ooh, I can't believe they did that. I'm going to get my revenge next time they're talking. I'm going to cut them off. Or some stupid shit like that. I would never do that, by the way. You've already so far off the path. Or maybe you just want to just get red face and look, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't hide your face, what you're feeling. You're already off the path. It is fair. And that's why you're feeling this way. It is fair. Source Energy knows they got it fair. Because we like fairness too. We want it completely fair. You just don't understand everything that's happening. It is fair. You think it's not fair. Complete dissonance. You're using that dissonance to think that to double down on it, that you're angry. But really, you're just off the path. You don't know what your guidance is. And you haven't trained yourself to realize what's going on. All of that encompassed in a split second that says dissonance. But I know that everything's working out. Because through hindsight and experience, boom, transmuted. Couple seconds. And now you have a more expansive future feeling potential, if even more goodness and more ability to glow and more ability to make people fucking jealous and look at you like, why the fuck? Right? Oh, yes. I wanted to get that out before it left me. Was this the same video when I started about? I'm just talking about not letting people fuck you. Ooh, 444. I just said that. I think it is, which is cool. But it morphed into more information that needed to come out. Double duty, spiritual booty. That's gonna be the Oh, no, I don't want to get that smoker's laugh where you're like, you're wheezing. I smoked too much weed. I switched to bongs a long time ago for water and ice and whatever because I don't even like going back to regular bowls because it's so harsh on my throat. I gotta sound so whatever. But really, I just need to cut back, I think. Let's hear that laugh. Oh, God, no. No, maybe it's the position I was in because I'll hush. Whatever, I don't want to think about it. I'm sure things will work out in the end. Like my little red cup. They're keeping that so bright in here because I painted it ultra super blind you for years bright. And these new lights are just fucking so bright. Cup is doing fucking good ass work. It's been up there for like 3 years. It's just fucking taking the brunt. Mm. Why did I make that sound for? Why? Why do I do the things I do? Sometimes it's best not to ask these questions and say, are you feeling good? And I'm like, damn, I am feeling good. And I can feel it in my shins. And I'm going to choose now to turn this video off and focus for at least 10 seconds on that feeling.